Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and today I would like to answer a question that is being raised within the private server community. Now, once again, it's going to be a bit off the cuff because I'm still on vacation, so bear with me. Anyway, unless you've been living on a rock, you've probably seen the negative impact of the WoW token on the WoW player base. Many people not liking it, and I looked at the Battle.net forums, and it looks like more and more people are canceling their subscription. Now, whether this is by the masses, it's hard to tell, but it really feels like more and more people are looking for a new home, and a new home that is, of course, a private server. I mean, if I look at the private server subreddit that is WoW servers, I see more and more topics being popped up of people asking, hey, I recently canceled my WoW subscription and I'm looking for a TBC server. I'm looking for a vanilla server. And what I'm really noticing is that there's more and more demand for a brand new Nostalrius server, because people are not only looking for a proper vanilla server, they're also kind of longing for the days of old, which is exactly why Nostalrius is being brought up, which raises the question, will there ever be a Nostalrius 2.0? And that's really difficult to answer, but I'll try. But before we can answer that question, it's very important to understand what Nostalrius is, because it's way more than just a Blizz-like vanilla private server. If that was the case, some guy could just host it and there you go, and call it Nostalrius 2.0. There we go, we're done. Community is saved. But it's not that easy, because Nostalrius is way more than just a standard Blizz-like vanilla private server. So, what are the other aspects that made Nostalrius so unique, and why is it so difficult to try and make a Nostalrius 2.0? Well, aside from it being a Bliss-like private server that was scripted pretty well, what really was also important is the fact that it was supported by a very passionate team that had the right intentions. And that's really difficult to accomplish in the private server scene, because, if in the future a small team announces a brand new Nostalrius server, then, how do you know for sure that those people have the best intentions? How do you know that those people really do it because they're so passionate about the game? It's really difficult, because in the private server scene, when a server is announced, all you really have is their Discord name, and that's it. You can't look these people up on LinkedIn and see their history. You can't pull up a resume of any of these. You can kind of look around where they worked on different private servers, but really only the only thing you have is a nickname name and a Discord avatar, and that's pretty much it. So it's very difficult to find a team that will host a new Nostalrius private server that is, that has their heart in the right place, has the best intentions, and will not cave into under the table favors like, spawning characters out of thin air for money, selling gold for money. It's very tempting, because those things can be very lucrative in the private server scene. So first of all, we need that, which is already pretty damn difficult. And the second of all, it's a really big point, is the fact that, another thing that made Nostalrius so great is the player base. And if you compare the player base of Nostalrius to the player base of now, it is vastly different, because Nostalrius happened in, well, let's say 2014, 2015. I could be wrong, but it's kind of around that period. Um, and the player base of then is vastly different than the player base of now. I mean, now GDKP and min-maxing is so overwhelmingly present that it's pretty much everywhere. And it's so overwhelmingly present that people really push the boundaries of GTKP runs, where they buy an insane amount of gold and put down hundreds and thousands of gold for one item. And I can assure you, I've run GTKP runs in the past on Phoenix Archangel. I mean, some people bid a lot of money, but nowhere near those crazy amounts. And that's really the thing I'm trying to get at, is that while GTKP runs and min-maxing was present in 2013, 2014, it was nowhere near as overwhelming as it is right now. So basically what I'm trying to get at is that if we're trying to recreate another Nostalrius, what we also need is a player base that is willing to go back to that 2013, 2014 mentality, which is really difficult, because why are GDKP runs and gold buying so tempting? Because it's basically a shortcut to get the items that you really want. And it's really difficult for a large majority of the player base to basically kind of discipline themselves not to go that route. And that's really difficult. So I think it's clear where I'm trying to get at. It's really not that easy to try and replicate a new Nostalrius. We need a lot of boxes to be ticked in order to create a new Nostalrius. And will it ever happen? Well, I'm going to be a bit of a doomer here and say, I really don't think so. I mean, I know that sounds a bit negative, but there's been servers before that tried to replicate kind of what Nostalrius was. We've had Everlook, we've had Darrowshire, and I'm not trying to bash those servers. I'm not trying to say they're bad. It's just that they didn't tick all of the boxes to recreate Nostalrius. And again, whether that will happen in the future, it's going to be really difficult to pull that off, and I really don't see it happen. But I will say this: we've seen over the last couple of days or weeks, with the WoW token, we've seen more and more people longing for the days of Nostalrius. So maybe, just maybe, that chance will climb ever so slightly, and maybe eventually we'll see a return of Nostalrius. But if I'm perfectly being honest with you guys, I think the chances are pretty slim. But there is a chance. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about this video. Hope you guys like this. Again, sorry for it being off the cuff. I'm still on vacation. So yeah, there you go. That's all I want to talk about. I'm Hamsterwheel. Have yourself a wonderful day. I'm going to go back to walking. See you guys later.